Wholesaling real estate virtually is just a phenomenal way to grow your real estate business without having to be in front of a homeowner, without having to drive across town and get rejected in every suburb of your hometown. You don't even have to be in the same city of where you're wholesaling these properties. Guys, my name is Joe Gonzalez and I've been wholesaling properties virtually for the past 4 years. And in today's video, I'm gonna be showing you how I've been successfully doing this virtually. So stick around to the end and I'm gonna show you guys exactly what you need to know in order to successfully run a wholesaling operation. So let's go ahead and get started. And guys, before we get started, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with anything that has to do with wholesaling real estate and you can join the family. Now, there's two main reasons why anybody might want to virtually wholesale. Reason number one, a lot of people live in cities that are just too small, or sometimes cities that are just too big, too saturated, like for instance, Southern California, LA, New York, where the prices are just way too high and they start looking for other markets that are a little bit more attractive for what they're trying to do. A lot of people just feel uncomfortable, especially if they're new, trying to wholesale $1 million property. So they start looking at markets that are a lot more affordable because they feel comfortable doing that, doing business in those cities. So the thing that you want to look at whenever you start looking at different markets is what is the value of that current market. When I first got started, I was not doing it virtually. I was actually going to properties and I pretty much got burnt out. So it wasn't really scalable. I couldn't just go from house to house to house and make offers and get rejected in person. Because remember, rejection is a pretty big part of real estate in general. So what I started doing was I started making offers over the phone. This allowed me to scale up my business and be able to make more offers in one day. So whenever you virtually wholesale real estate, you can either do it in your hometown or you can do it in any other market that you decide is a good fit for you. From the moment I started virtually wholesaling real estate in my own market, I started seeing that I was able to make a lot more offers and everything just got a lot easier for me and I really enjoyed the process. So the first thing you want to do is you want to choose a market. A lot of people decide to do this because their market is just too small or too competitive. You want to find a market that has a really comfortable price point if you do decide that you want to go into a different market. What I suggest, and this is my sweet spot, is I like areas where the market value is around 150,000 to maybe 300,000. To me, that performs the best. There's a lot of activity going on. There's a lot of cash buyers, and I really prefer markets that have that value. Another thing you want to look at, guys, is the population. You want to do business in an area that has a pretty big population. At least for me, I like to look at metros with a population of at least 1 million people. That usually works out pretty well. You never want to be in an area that's just too small because again, there's going to be very little activity going on. And guys, don't forget that you're able to simply do a Google search and find the best areas to invest in real estate, and you get a good idea as to what cities have the most cash transactions, etc. But once you determine what market you want to be a part of, from there, you pull data. That's the next step. Once you go ahead and determine your market, pull the data. Now, I'm a big advocate of just going straight to the county and pulling things such as tax defaults. You want to pull code violations, and don't forget about foreclosures happening in that specific market. So once you pull that, you'll have a list of people that might need to sell their property, and that's where you come in. Once you pull the data, you already know what to do now. You skip trace the data. Now this will allow you to be able to cold call people or whatever marketing you want to do. Or if you plan on doing direct mail, you're able to then now send your direct mail because you have the data at your disposal. So after that, what do? You do what you always do and you problem solve. People are in distress across the nation. I find people who are going through foreclosures, they're going through some type of personal distress. It's the same thing everywhere in the United States. So all you gotta do now is just be a problem solver. That's the next tip, be a problem solver. Now, from there, this is really what makes this all virtual. How you make your offer. Now, I'm a big advocate of making your offer over the phone. And the reason is there's a lot of psychology that goes into making offers, right? Whenever I make an offer, I want to hear the person's reaction to my offer. I want to make sure I'm able to explain to them that I need to lock this up today because I believe in doing things today. I'm not here to do follow-ups or anything like that. I'm trying to lock up a deal today because I'm helping indecisive people a lot of times be decisive. So that's my big philosophy. So I can only do that effectively over the phone. I suggest you do this over the phone as well. A question I get a lot is, how do I find cash buyers in a whole different market? Now, if you're staying in your own market, I'm sure you already have cash buyers, and that's a great advantage of virtually wholesaling in your own market. However, if you are completely going to another market, what you want to do is one very simple thing. Join every single Facebook group that has to do with investing in real estate. You're gonna find fix and flippers, you're gonna find people who are doing buy and holds. These are the people that you wanna get to know and explain to them that you're wholesaling in that specific market. So guys, you wanna build relationships, and this is gonna be true for like the first year that you are in that market. Another great tip is, why not meet other wholesalers and go ahead and just message them and do a few JV deals. There's nothing wrong with doing a few JV deals when you first get started. That's exactly what I did whenever I got started in a different market. So ever since I first started wholesaling virtually, I have then moved on to a few different other markets. I'm currently in Houston, which is where I reside. I'm also in Dallas, and I'm also in San Antonio. I've done deals in California. I've done deals in Corpus Christi. I've done deals in a few different markets. So what I had to do is I had to literally build relationships with people in those markets, so I was able to actually assign the deals, and that's what you should be doing. Another great website is myhousedeals.com, and you're able to put your deals on there. And another great resource too is Bigger Pockets. So Bigger Pockets has a marketplace where you're able to put any deal that you get on there, and you have people reaching out to you. So as long as it's a good deal, as long as you know how to do your numbers, you should be able to get buyers in any market. Once you master the art of finding deals and being able to lock them up at a great price, you will find buyers. I typically find that to be the easiest part. However, I do suggest you put a little bit of time and effort into building relationships as you start your marketing. So remember guys, if you want to go ahead and do this virtually, remember to choose a market based on the right population, make sure it has the right values, pull data, skip trace that data, begin your marketing, and then from there, you want to make offers over the phone. Don't email this, don't text this. Build relationships with the homeowner, make sure you're able to connect with them and solve a problem. That's what you want to do, solve a problem. Just because they live in a different market does not mean that anything changes. So solve that problem. From there, you want to go ahead and find buyers by joining Facebook groups, by joining My House Deals, by joining Bigger Pockets, and then from there, you should be able to assign that deal. And a quick little bonus tip is find out who the investor-friendly title company is in that specific city. You do this by speaking to people through these groups and asking them flat out, like, who do you guys use for investment deals here? And most people will be willing to tell you who they're using. And if they don't, then you can just simply go on Google, and I would say just type in investment-friendly title companies, you'll get a list of them. So guys, hopefully this helped. Keep in mind, every single thing I went over here can be a video of its own. So I'm gonna make other videos to go more into detail as to how some of these things work. So do me a favor, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that like button. And if you have any comments, go ahead and leave them. I read every single comment, and I wanna keep the conversation going to see how I can help you guys out. So hopefully this brought you guys some value. Until next time, we'll talk soon.